Hello all, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the official channel of Harak Coaching Classes. Today we are going to start a new topic which is very much important with the class 10th curriculum, and the topic is trigonometry. So before we start the topic, let us understand that what is trigonometry. So basically this word trigonometry comes from two words, trigon and metry. Trigon means triangle, and then metry means measurement. So basically, trigonometry is the study of triangles and their measurement, right? So now the question comes, why to study trigonometry? What is the practical application? So before we deep dive into the topic, let us understand that what is the practical application of the trigonometry, right? So let's say you are standing here. You are a person standing here. Let's say here there is a clock, right? And then you are seeing this clock by your eyes, right? Let's say I know this particular distance from the bottom of your ground to the distance of the bottom of the clock. Now let's say I want to find this particular height. Let me just mark with the green color. So let's say I want to find this height, right? Then if I know this particular angle from my eyes to the clock, right? Then let's say it be 30 degree. Then I can easily find this particular height by the means of trigonometry, right? So this is a very much practical application of using the trigonometry in real life, right? Okay. Now I hope you understand what is trigonometry and why which is so much important in the field of mathematics, right? Now see, again, now we need to actually define something, right? So let's say, and always remember one thing, that trigono trigonometry is based on right angled triangle, right? It is based upon the right angle triangle in general. We can also apply the trigonometry in non-right angle triangles, but in general, when we talk about the different terms in trigonometry, different ratios, different angles, different things, then we are most more very much concerned about using the right angle triangle, right? So let us see. So you already know that if I draw a right angle triangle, let's say this nice triangle, right? And we have this particular angle. Mark the triangle as A, B, and C. Now we know three things. What we know? We know that AC is called perpendicular. We know that BC is called hypotenuse, right? And then AB is called base, right? So this way there are three terms of the sides which are named as perpendicular, hypotenuse, and base. Now we are already familiar with the this what we called as the Pythagoras theorem, right? Which states that hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. Now in this particular picture of right angle, How does the trigonometry come into the picture? That is a question of importance, right? So that we have to answer. So see, basically, if this is the angle and we know if this is 90, then these two are what? These two are acute angles, right? These two are acute angles, right? Now, based upon this right angle triangle and the side, one can define the three trigonometric ratios, which is, so let's say this angle is theta. I'm denoting it by the Greek letter theta. We usually use the Greek letter to denote the angles, right? And also remember one thing, I am using the smaller side. So for example, this is A, then the side length would be small a. This is B, then this length is B, and this is C, then this length is C, right? So then basically sine of B, and we can define cos of B, and we can define tangent of B. Now, before we move to this, let us understand that um, what does the ratios mean. So always remember, there's sine of theta is what? We know it is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Cos of theta, it is derived as base over hypotenuse, and tangent of theta is equal to perpendicular over base. Now there is a small trick to remember. See, a small trick is what? P B B over HHP. In Hindi, we may often remember this trick as Pandit Badri Prasad Har Har Bhole. So that means the first ratio corresponds to sine, the second ratio corresponds to cos, the third ratio corresponds to tangent. Right? So this way we can define the three most common ratios: sine, cos, and tangent. So basically sine of theta, cosine of theta, and tangent of theta. In short, we write it as sin, cos, and tan. Other than that, there are three other ratios also, which are the reciprocals of these ratios, which are cosec theta, cot of theta, and sec of theta, which are just opposite to the sine, cos, and tan. Right? So sine is this, sec is cos, and reciprocal of cot is tan. Right? So this way we can actually write the ratios. Okay. So this way we can define the basic trigonometry ratios, right? So I hope you understand that what is the idea of the trigonometry. Now coming to the puzzle problem which I've started at the first case. So see, by solving this particular right angle triangle, one can actually find the value of sine of theta, and one can find this height, and knowing this particular length, this is same length x, and knowing this height and then 30-degree angle, so I can use tangent of 30 equals, if this height is h and this is x, so I can write h over x. I know the x, then I can find the h by knowing the value of tan 30 degrees. So in the upcoming lecture, we are going to study about how to calculate the different values, right? So I hope you understand the basics of trigonometry, how to use it, why to use it, why we are using it, what is the application, and then we can define the basic ratios, which is sine, cos, and tangent of theta. Okay then. So see you in the next class. Stay tuned, stay connected. Follow my YouTube channel Harak Coaching Classes for more such interesting videos. Thank you so much.